Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to 2019's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, not to be confused with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which was the sequel to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That being said, here we are. It's finally out, the full game. Let's talk about it. So initially when I started coming up with the idea to review this game, I was just going to talk about the campaign. I started playing it during the early access period, and I was just going to talk about that, just my experience with the campaign. By the time I was finished, the full game was out. I've played a few rounds of multiplayer, played a bit of co-op, and decided I'm going to spend a bit more time with this and do a full-fledged review. We have 5 categories. We're going to rate the story, the graphics, performance, gameplay, and the audio. Each of these gets a rank from 0 to 2, 0 being not good, 1 being okay, and 2 being great. In the campaign for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, you're tasked with hunting down a man named Hassan.
Bro, this motherfucker's a streamer, dog. They literally made the main villain a bald streamer who speaks about America's war crimes, and his fucking name is Hassan.
No, not that Hassan. This Hassan.
This Hassan's guy's got some good ideas.
Okay. Apparently he has some missiles or something that he wants to use, and you can't let him do that. So you and Task Force 141 go on a globe-trotting adventure to take down Hassan. We're introduced to plenty of familiar characters you will recognize from the previous Modern Warfare trilogy, as well as some new characters like Alejandro and Rudolfo. This game being Modern Warfare 2, you expect things to go a certain way if you've played the original Modern Warfare 2, but I'm happy to say they've done a very good job separating the two trilogies, making sure that this is reminiscent and feels familiar of the original Modern Warfare trilogy, but goes its own direction. And I'm very happy about that because there's a lot of things that happened in this game that were fun and surprising and shocking in a way that I wasn't quite expecting. But if you've played the Call of Duty Modern Warfare trilogy in the past, you understand that these games are very heavy on story, and I don't really want to spoil some of these things for you, so I'll just leave you with this. Play the campaign. It's fantastic, and make sure you don't skip the credits, because there is a post-credit scene that I missed during my playthrough. I had to watch later online, and boy, was it awesome. So overall, I would give the story a 2. I think this game's campaign is great. Moving on to graphics. This is by far, from the first scene in the game, one of the best looking games I have played this generation. It's absolutely stunning. And this is something that does persist throughout the whole campaign. Granted, there was a small graphical issue during this sniping mission where things kind of just started fading out of existence, but once I restarted a checkpoint, it was totally fine. Graphics, get a 2. Moving on to performance. So 90% of the time, 95% of the time, the game is locked at 60 frames per second. There were a few moments throughout the campaign that had a couple frame rate drops here and there, but nothing substantial, and they only lasted for a couple seconds. The big kicker though with performance are the bugs. There are quite a few bugs in the campaign, and some of these have also persisted into multiplayer and co-op, with various crashes happening either during certain checkpoints, when you complete certain missions, or just in the lobby screens. There was also a couple times throughout the campaign where I ran into issues, one being a checkpoint bugging out, so whenever I would try to reload the checkpoint, the game crashed, causing me to have to restart that level, as well as another level where once you get to a certain part towards the end, things just don't trigger, and you are stuck, and you cannot advance unless you restart the level. Kind of a bummer when you want to play through a game and you're doing it on veteran difficulty because I want those sweet trophies, and you just spent 15 minutes slogging through enemy after enemy after enemy, only to have to do it all over again. Kind of a bummer. So performance, sadly I'm only going to have to give a 1. It's good. When things work, they work well, but there are still a lot of optimization issues and certain things that you just kind of expect to be a bit more polished. Gameplay is something that I don't really have a lot to say about that's anything new, because it's Call of Duty. If you've played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 or any of the games after that, you kind of expect what you're gonna get. And that's what you're getting. It's great. The gunplay feels amazing. The movement feels nice and fast in multiplayer. They've added a new climbing mechanic, so if you jump up, you actually grab onto a ledge and then pull yourself up instead of just having to be at a certain height to mantle. A couple other changes have been made to gameplay. For instance, reloading is a lot more realistic now. You cannot just cancel mid-reload and still have ammo in your magazine. If you pull out your magazine, you don't have any ammo in that gun. You have to finish the reload. Some people don't like this because they miss being able to cancel the reload, but honestly, I like it. It's a lot more realistic, and I think it fits this style of Call of Duty game that's a lot more grounded. They've also added weapon tuning. Once you max out certain weapons, you're able to do weapon tuning, so you can actually tweak the parameters of each attachment to balance out the pros and cons. I'm giving it a 2. Audio in Call of Duty games is typically pretty solid. I remember loving the audio mix in 2019's Modern Warfare. The audio is pretty solid. You have nice, crisp dialogue, good weapon sounds. You get the variation based on environment, so you get certain echoes when you're indoors, outdoors, close to a building, things like that. Weapons sound great, vehicles sound great, kill streaks sound great. A lot of the game sounds pretty great. The problem for me though is the audio balancing. During the campaign, there were plenty of times where I could clearly hear people talking, and they would be whispering through the microphone, and you can hear them. Other times you're standing right next to somebody and they're yelling, and it sounds like they're a mile away. This could be a bug, this could be deliberate, I don't know, but it was kind of irritating at times, not being able to hear somebody, and then everything's too loud, and then everything's too quiet. It wasn't super drastic, but it was just enough that it did get a little bit annoying throughout the campaign. Overall, the audio was pretty good. It's just I wish the mix and the balancing was a bit better, at least for dialogue during the campaign. So audio, I'll give a 1. So in total, I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, as it stands right now, is a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, go check out the rest of our content. We do a lot of podcasts. We talk to a lot of cool people, actors, musicians, game designers. It's a lot of fun. Go check us out. Have a good day.